welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another unboxing and a review. And as you can tell by the title, I'm going to be reviewing some stockings today, and they are from the brand Cecilia De Rafael, or CDR if you are a seasoned hosiery pro. So I have in my hand the Cecilia De Rafael Vidrio Stockings, and these are in the colour Moreno, so a very goldy, metallic-y, bronzy nude colour, if that's the thing. You can get these in a black and I believe the colour is a natural, so probably like a pale nude. I have them in a size 5, which is an XL, and these are currently retailing on the Tight Spot for £7.95, which is actually a really good price for, I would say, a well-known hosiery brand. So yeah, £7.95. I will leave these product link in the description, along with my discount code Langford, which will give you 10% off if you are indeed going to shop on the Tight Spot. So let's have a little look here. They have a glossy finish. They are stockings, so obviously we wear them with a suspender belt. They're a glossy finish, a plain top, and they are a 15 denier. And you can pretty much see them straight away. I really like, Cecilia De Rafael has a mix of kind of packaging, but this is the sort of real simplistic one that I like, the white and the black. And we have even a little preview window, as it were, just so you can kind of get an idea of the shade. A lot of hosiery brands do this, and it can be quite useful if you're looking for different nude shades and actually what those shades are and what they actually look like. So yeah, on the back, it is actually quite simple on the back as well. Size guide, a little bit of information across the thing, but black and white is always my sort of preferred, or really soft colours, just so that it's easy to read, clear, clean, done, that kind of thing. So as you can see, we go from a small all the way to an extra large. So I have the extra large, and they fit up to somebody who is 6'3" and 154 pounds or 70 kilograms, or up to just 6'1", but you can be up to 90 kilograms or 198 pounds. So again, there's a reasonable size range here for everybody to be able to wear. It says they have a shadow toe as well, so a bit more of a invisible reinforcement, just a little kind of subtle one. But yeah, that is pretty much it. So I'm going to go ahead and get it opened. So CDR is a Spanish brand, but these are produced and made in Italy. So the standard cardboard packaging, plastic, and then they are indeed wrapped with a plain, glossier but still a plain cardboard in the middle. So here they are, looking incredibly bronze, which is kind of cool actually. It's a sort of really lovely colour. Now I used to have a pair of tights in this colour Moreno, and actually they were a bit more orange, so it's interesting to see the sort of variation. So starting at the top, as I always do, we have the almost kind of very iconic rolled plain top to these. And what I mean by rolled is that they don't have a seamed edge at the top. They are simply seamed at the bottom and then they are folded over and then sort of seamed, so you just get this sort of folded top, which is actually really quite neat. But yeah, this actually feels really, really soft. Let's have a little look in terms of stretch. Stretch actually seems fairly reasonable on these as well, and there's quite a reasonable stretch on the join as well. Sometimes that can be quite tough in comparison, but it feels quite okay actually. And then moving down the leg, you can see that it's actually shaped. So we actually have a calf shape going into an ankle and then going into quite an obvious sort of foot. This is a little bit more of a kind of a classic look when we drift more towards nylons. And that's just reminded me, I didn't tell you what the composition of these was. These are 88% nylon and 12% spandex, so actually they've got a really nice stretch to them. And then we go in and have a little look at the reinforcement on the toe, which it said that it was quite a subtle reinforcement, and it is actually. It's a shadow one because there is a slight difference in texture. The holes here are a little bit bigger, and there's a very faint line that runs across, and then it comes into that sort of weaved texture there. I'm not sure whether it's a little bit easier to see it across here, so it would be coming along here. So it is a real kind of shadow reinforcement with very fine sort of line, which is lovely. It doesn't sort of interrupt with the design of the stocking or the material or anything like that, but just gives you that extra bit of sort of reinforcement. But yeah, these look lovely. 15 denier, they look really lovely and sheer, and they look like they've got a really nice kind of glossy appearance to them. And the top here is a real kind of a beautiful, almost again kind of glossy top to them. So £7.95 I think for a pair of stockings like this already seems like a bargain, but let's put them on, see how they fit and see what we think. The stockings are on and they were super duper easy to get on, really easy, which I would like to expect from putting stockings on, but that's not always the case. But no, they were super easy to get on, and yeah, I have absolutely no issues with these at all. Sometimes CDR can be a little bit funny for me, sizing wise, and actually I hate to say it because I know CDR is a sort of a cult classic, but sometimes the quality isn't always on the mark of what I would expect. So I'm really happy that these are just pretty much perfect. So I'll do what I normally do, and I will start with the feet. So it did have, if you remember, that real faint shadow reinforcement, which is just across the knuckles of the little toes there. I don't know whether you can make that out. It is very fine, so it may not come up on camera at all. But yeah, there is a little difference there, but it's very hard to see, which is kind of the point. It's meant to be a shadow reinforcement, but overall I think these look really lovely on the feet. Super glossy, super shiny, and the colour's lovely. If I sit it in the light, is this real shimmery, bronzy kind of colour. Stunning, really stunning. So these are obviously shaped a bit more. The foot was shaped a bit more, and it fits really lovely. We don't have a baggy ankle, but we do have some give, which is really nice. But because these have elastine in them, we're getting that snap back, which is brilliant. And it means they just fit really beautifully. So they've almost got a little bit of a 100% nylon retro vintage stocking vibe, but they aren't at all, because they're using sort of like modern composition materials and things like that. So I really, really like that. They are a gorgeous colour, a really, really beautiful orangey sort of bronzy colour, and I think they're perfect for actually quite a lot of different things. I think they're perfect for work. If you're somebody that likes to wear stockings to work, they're absolutely perfect. I mean, I'm wearing a little bit more of an officey sort of style dress today, and I think this would be absolutely acceptable, but it just gives you something a little bit different at the same time, with having that extra shine and that slightly more unusual colour to the stocking. But yeah, really, really beautiful. And then I'm going to show you the stocking top itself. So yeah, really, really gorgeous. They, because of the way these sort of work, the tops work a little bit more like classic nylons. They had a little bit less stretch to them. So when they're sort of stretched, they don't have quite as much depth on them, but I think they're a really nice sort of width, and I really enjoy the contrast between the stocking top and the stockings themselves. Even though they're the same tones, this has got a really sort of lovely defined plain band to it. So yeah, really, really beautiful, super duper lovely. And I can actually demonstrate with this one because it's pinged off. They do up super easily as well. So yeah, really, really lovely stockings. I'm really pleasantly surprised by the size. I would say that I technically probably shouldn't have to have an extra large, but I think in terms of sort of room, there's still a little bit more give to these. I would say that whilst these fit me really well, I am probably only a size 12 on the bottom, which to me doesn't warrant an extra large. So I think if you're tall and slim, you'd be absolutely fine. But it's where you sort of come into the average to shorter height with a larger kind of dress size that you might start to sort of feel like the sizes are a bit smaller than what is advertised. But overall, I think these are super gorgeous. I think they look lovely on the leg. I think they've got a lovely colour and a lovely shine to them. Yeah, beautiful. Really, really beautiful. I know they do these, and I have them in tights form as well, Vidrio Bass tights. So I think across the board, these are a really lovely kind of product with the tights and the stockings, and I would actually recommend both of them. But £7.95, can we just? There's actually a super, super good price for these tights, stockings. And I think I'm going to say just be mindful of the sizing, but otherwise I think these are a 10 out of 10. They're really, really gorgeous. The quality is there. Quality is what I expect to be there, but they just look like a really wonderful kind of modern, slightly more vintage take on a modern stocking. So really, really gorgeous. Definitely recommend. As I said, I will leave the link to the product in the description box below, along with a code. They're only £7.95, but if you can get yourself an extra 10% off, then why not? So yeah, you can check that out. Let me know what you think of these stockings down in the comments below. I know quite a lot of you that comment have quite, you know, your own experience with CDRs. So yeah, let me know what you think of the brand overall, and whether or not you own these kind of stockings, because I think these are quite popular. But yeah, that's going to be it from me today. I hope you all enjoyed this little unboxing and review, and I'll see you all soon for another one. Bye.